Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen and my conservatory space where I do all of my filming and all of my faffing when I'm making all of my silly little videos and silly little things that I do in this house. It keeps me sane. I just wanted to pop on and say hello. I know I don't come on camera very often. It's extremely weird talking to a camera because it just feels very, very strange. Try it yourself and see what you think. So I've got lots and lots of respect for all of these wonderful YouTubers and content creators who find it super, super easy to talk to the camera, because I don't. I much prefer you seeing my hands, but I thought I'd come and say hello. So firstly, I wanted to say thank you so much to all of my subscribers for being here with me on this silly little journey through jewellery and making and using our hands and maintaining our mental health, which is primarily what this channel is all about. And secondly, I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart from all my lovely members. There are over, I think there's 21 of you, and I won't name you. I won't name you because obviously I don't want to do that, but certainly you know who you are. If you've been supporting my channel throughout the period of however long I've been doing this, really from the bottom of my heart, it's so appreciated, and it helps me buy materials, so thank you so much. So I'm not going to ramble on for too much because I wanted to show you a very quick video today how to make this gorgeous spiral ring. If you've made the bracelet, or indeed if you've made the lovely necklace that we made, probably last year actually, now thinking about it, then these lovely rings will go with. Dead simple to make. Okay, so have a wonderful time, have a super Christmas, and I will see you on the other side of it when there's going to be lots and lots of wonderful new things, including textile, jewellery, including felt, and I'm going to sort of widen my horizons a little bit on the channel this coming year, so I hope that's all right with everyone. If you don't like it, then that's fine. As I've always said, this channel is mainly for me, but I'm glad that you're here for the ride. Have a super Christmas and lots of love to you all. So if you're like me and you would rather make spirals than actually be in a spiral, although I feel like I'm spiraling, never mind. So if you've made this or this for gifting or for yourself, let's make a matching ring. I'm not a huge fan of matchy, I just like spirals. I don't know. I'll leave a link to this in up here. And the chain for this one, I'll leave another link somewhere or down in the description probably, which is probably the best way to go. So these rings, you can either join them together, you can leave them loose, which I tend to do, which means that when my fingers swell slightly, I can, adjustable rings are a really good idea, I think. So if you want to, just use 0.4mm wire just to make them a bit more sturdy. If you are happy, like me, to have them loose so that you can, make them adjustable, then do so. So what we're going to need, 1.5mm, I'll put all the gauge equivalents in the description box, or indeed 1.25mm wire, that's 16. I think that might be 14, but I can't just say off the top of my head. So I'll leave all the information in the description. And you need just a simple ruler just to measure out your lengths. You're going to need some round nose pliers. You're going to need some cutters. And all you're going to need then is a pair of chain nose pliers. You will need a ring mandrel. I use this one. It's been battered about a bit. A wooden one would be fine also, but I wouldn't suggest you use a plastic one because we're going to be doing a bit of bashing. And a hammer. Just a simple chasing hammer. Really easy, really simple to get hold of. And I'll see you in a few seconds when we've cleared all this away and we'll make these really easy rings. Cute. I am a huge fan of spirals. I'm not sure whether it's because of my Celtic heritage. I'm not sure. My family name goes back an awful long way, so maybe it's in the blood, I don't know. But I just think they're beautiful motifs, don't you? So let's go ahead and make this one. So I think we'll make it with 1.25. Like I say, you can make it with 1.5, which makes it a little chunkier. But, it's up to you. You decide. So we'll pull off some wire and we'll give it a bit of a straighten. Now, I'm going to suggest you use about 20 centimetres. Now, unless you have very tiny hands, which obviously I don't. I've got quite big hands. Just, gauge what you need. Gauge, There you go, making a joke. I'm a poet and I don't know it. There you go. 20 centimetres, I'm going to say, will make a decent sized ring, which will fit, you know, a good sized person. Let's have a look what this is. This measures about, well, I don't know, about a T or a U. So that fits on my forefinger. So T or a U. So, you know, accordingly. And then you want to find the centre. Really, really quick one this time, just because it's Christmas. And I just thought I would bring you one last video before we all break for the Christmas holidays. So I hope you've got lots of nice things planned. Okay, so we find the centre of the wire, and using our round nose pliers, I don't know, about 5mm down from the end, something like that. Now, this is where we use a lot of sort of rolly wrist motions and things like that, just to make sure that we try not to get any angles on the spiral. So what I do is I take my fingers like so, and I just start to bend around. So you get like an S shape like this around the plier. So you pretty much start with this kind of shape. Pop your pliers back in, and this is when we kind of move the wire around and move the wrist around nice and gently, so that we get a nice round shape. And round. So we sort of bend the wire, make it go where we want to. Don't forget, it is wire, so if it wants to go where it wants to go, it is what it is. So you can make these as tight or as open as you like. This one's a little tighter, whereas these ones are a little bit more open. But there is room for manoeuvre, obviously. All right, so we just come back in, start to bend this one around again. There is room for manoeuvre, so don't worry too much. I might just bring that in slightly, and then just use your fingers, you know, just to bring the spiral around like this. So we want it to make a spiral like so, and then we want to make sure that each one of these wires is going in the opposite direction, because this obviously creates the ring part. Yeah, dead easy. So I'm going to bring it around here. All right, so you know, that's what we're looking for. Sorry about the shadow. I've put the light on today because it's a bit dull in my conservatory today. That's all right, isn't it? Doesn't make any difference, does it? No. So here we have our shape. So that's what we're looking for. So you can make it so that the spiral blobs in the center, these little waves in the center, are that way or that way. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. Just have a faff around and see what you think. So then we come in with our pliers, our chain nose, and holding them, I tend to hold them in line with the center of this wave here. Can you see that? So I just sort of hold it around here and bend on an angle, a right angle. All right, so you've got that one going that way. So then I come in and again put my pliers in line with the center of this wave, just gauge it and bend onto an angle. So this is what we have. I mean, you could turn that into all sorts of things, couldn't you? But we're going to make a ring with this. You know, if you put two small loops, you could make some lovely components for bracelets, that kind of thing. It's so versatile, I think. Right, so this is what we have. So the next thing we want to do is to very carefully bend it around our mandrel. So bring your mandrel in. And if you know what size you are, obviously, remember that when we are making rings, usually with copper, on most metals actually, if we're giving it a bit of a bash, you want to make the ring initially a couple of sizes smaller than what you need. So I don't know, I'll make a T here. So you would place your disc, you know, your motif here on top of, I mean, I've got a British, a UK mandrel. I think a T is about a 10 maybe in US sizes, something like that. And literally just pop it on top and gently with your fingers start bending and manipulating the wire. Can you see how we've started to get a bit of an arc on it just by gently, is that focusing? Just by gently maneuvering it around your mandrel. And then you start to bring these wires in. Now there's a little bit of faffing around and a little bit of sort of movement involved with this. Let's see if I can bring that in. And then you want to cross it over like this at the back, and make sure the cross is in line with the face of the ring, like that. You don't want that crossing here at the side, or else these guys will be offset. All right, so you want to make it like this. All right, pop it back on your mandrel around about a T, because I'm going to make this for my middle finger. Okay, where are your T? There you are. So like I say, if you want to make it slightly smaller, just do that and bend it round and make it maybe about a size and a half, 2 sizes smaller than you want. So let's do that, shall we? There we go. So I've put that on and R. Okay, so this is what we have. So this crosses over at the back of here. So we want to be cutting these little sections, leaving around about 1 centimetre on either side. All right, so if I measure from where it crosses over, around about 1 centimetre, give or take. It's better to have too much than not enough at this stage. So around about 1 centimetre, and chop it, flush cut it around about here. And do the same on the other side. Again, you want it to be pretty, pretty equal. So there's, equidistance between these two. Get rid of these bits and get rid of that there. Okay, so can you see what we've got here? The startings of a beautiful ring. What I want to do now is to make these 2 hoops at the back. So like I say, you can, if you want to, you can, is that light annoying? Is it? No, I'll leave it on because it is dark in here. So if you wanted to attach it to make it stable, but I'm making this into a bit of an adjustable size. Okay, so you can wear it on various different fingers. So come in with your pliers, like your round nose pliers. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be doing it this way round. Take the end of your plier, flat like so, and you just want to make a loop like this, so that you have a loop going one way, and then turn it round and do the same on the other side. So you want to have a loop going in the opposite direction. So one here and in the opposite direction, so that you have this. I mean, they might bend in on each other at this point. Don't worry, this is when we come back with our mandrel. Okay, so I've got it on an R here. And okay, so pop it back on your mandrel, and then this is where we start to give it a little bit of a hammer. Now I will do this in front of the camera. Usually I don't, but there's a relevance to it. All right, so I start at the back. So I just gently tap these loops. Can you see how that's brought them together like that? And then what you do is, holding everything nice and securely, just start by bashing the arm of each of the each side of the ring. But not too hard. Okay, so this is what we have. Just give it a bit of a bend and bring it back into line. So you can see here we've got a nice shape. Let me pop that one off and see if it fits. It does. Okay, so it fits on that hand. But as you can see, we need to fashion this here so that it bends around the finger a little bit in the shape of a shield, essentially. You see that? All right, so this is where we come in with a very gentle hammer. Pop it back on the mandrel. So as you can see here now, I started as an R and it's fitting a T because I've bashed it a little bit. Now this part here, you want to hold these two arms close together underneath the mandrel. And this is where we come in very carefully and we shape this into like a shield shape, which gently sort of bends around the mandrel, okay? So it will fit around your finger nicely. So as you can hear, I'm not hammering it too much at the moment because I'm just wanting to very gently shape it. So as you can see, I'm gently shaping it into the shape of a shield. It will want to pop out on you. That's fine at this stage. You can come in and just reset everything. Yeah, at this point, it's not too work hardened that you don't have a bit of room for manoeuvre. Now I'm just going to bash it a little harder. And there we have it. Okay, so that's lovely. Just give it a little bit of a pull. All right. And there we have our beautiful little ring. So again, you know, I mean, like with most things, I make it adjustable. So it fits on this finger, or this finger indeed. But I mean, you know, I've got lots now. I've got one for every, I've got one for every single finger. There we go. How cute is that? I mean, obviously don't wear them all at once unless you really wanted to. So there we go. That's our little spiral shield ring. So again, you can, you know, wind a bit of 0.4 millimeter. What gauge is that? 26 gauge if you wanted to, just to keep that secure. I don't bother because I wanted this to be adjustable. Have fun making those, and obviously I won't see you now until after Christmas, so I hope you have an absolutely spectacular time. Enjoy, if you can, with your family and your friends. If you're on your own, you know, just keep going and enjoy the festivities as best you can, and we'll be here for you in the new year, and I'll speak to you then. Thanks then. Bye guys.